And welcome back to the Ballsack Podcast. We're back for another week. Sheldon is out this week, so we have a stand-in here. That is my boy Max over here.
I thought his name was Mike this whole time.
Shut up.
I'm dead ass.
It's because you were working on the mic the whole time, and that's why.
You were
Literally,
that's why.
Is his name Lavalier?
Shut up.
First name Lavalier, last name Mike.
Yeah, first name Lavalier, last name Mike. But yeah, this is my boy Max. We brought him on just because I think he has some interesting tales that he can tell us about some psychedelics. So
some interesting stories for sure.
Yeah. So
I'm Andre. Thanks for fucking saying who I am.
Yeah, this dumbass is back here again.
Fortunately.
And I'm kind of sad that he is and Sheldon isn't here. But yeah. I guess we should jump right into it. So we got Max, Andre, and Cooper. Of course, you know and love.
I'm just gonna start off with the out of pocket shit my fiance says.
Yes, yes.
This one was old.
So weekly, he comes back with something that's some out of pocket.
For some reason, my fiance says the most out of pocket racist shit she can ever say. And like it's at like the most random times, and usually it's been about like Asian people. This one's not.
This one's not about
Asian
Asian
people.
people.
About the Arabian people in my complex. You know how like all the kids hang out. I was like,
no.
This one broke me. So we pull up. You obviously know my
you're roundabout.
So we pull up, and all the little Arab kids are playing outside. I don't know. I'm being. All the Afghani kids are playing outside, and they were like wearing the outfits and stuff and all that jazz. And I'm
outfits. You mean hijabs? And
yes, I didn't know what they were called. I apologize. Anyway, we pull up.
Racist.
We pull up, and she goes, all the halals are playing outside today.
Bro, no shot. No shot.
I wish I could be making this up.
All the halals.
She goes,
bro.
all the halals are outside today. I'm like, all right, that's it.
God damn, bro.
I'm going inside.
That was tough.
She goes, all the halals are playing outside
That
today.
is tough. That is so tough.
I was like, why are you like this?
My goodness. All the halals.
But she's like, all the halals are playing outside. I was like, why'd you have to give the accent to?
Oh, no.
I know. I was like, oh my God.
Did she nail the accent though?
Oh, it was like, I don't want to do it because it was like she put emphasis.
Mic closer to you, Max.
They go closer up here?
Yeah, a little bit closer.
Like up here?
Yeah, and there you go.
Yeah.
There we go.
As long as it's like, as long as like this part is you're talking to it.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Yeah. So
and keep it, like I said, 6 to 8 inches, a cock's length between.
He came up with that analogy.
I did.
Around average, right?
Yeah. 6 to 8 inches is very average.
Yeah. So
8 inches is actually more to average.
Yeah.
That's the.
If you're not at least 8 inches, like you should be a little self-conscious, guys. Like,
You should.
Yeah.
It's just.
I'm looking at you, Timmy. But yeah, that's the out of pocket section of the. I had to get that up because it was so bad. I was like, wow.
That one's tough.
Get that one off your chest.
I had to. I'm like, I cannot wait to say this on the podcast because just the way she's like, all the halals are outside. I was like,
so how was your guys' weeks?
How was your week?
How was your week?
Bro,
We'll start with you.
Honestly, my week's been phenomenal. I finished my level 3 schooling for electrical this week. So at the end of last week, actually. So this whole week was my week off, and then I'm starting work on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So I've just been going on a bunch of hikes. Yeah, I'm kind of excited to go back to work. It's been like, I've been off for like 5 months. I did my level 2 and then my level 3 back to back.
Nice.
So I just figured I'd get a bunch of the schooling done. I'm going to try and do the level 4 in September so I can get my red seal by, well, I still got to get all the hours.
Yeah, no, of course.
At least all the schooling's done, right?
You're just plowing through school. Holy, that's
just trying to
crazy.
get it finished.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Hopefully Coop can join for level 4 in September as well.
Yeah, I'll have
if he gets the invite.
I'll have to see.
I'll have to see. To the party.
Yeah. Well, no, there's been some revelations that have been coming to me. I've been talking to a lot of my classmates, and a lot of them are working in industrial maintenance, and I don't know exactly how I want to go about it, but I don't want to get into it on the pod. It's a little bit of a lengthy one, but I don't know. I'm gonna see how it goes. But yeah, other than that, you've just been chilling.
Yeah, it was just lots of hikes this week. I've been went up to Golden Ears a couple times. And
what was that?
Oh, it's beautiful. Like
Yeah.
you don't even realize it's like 40 minutes away from your home is just like the most scenic
Heaven.
shit. Like
Yeah.
you've never even like imagined something like so beautiful. It's just like mountainscapes of just like river to trees to the blue skies and the sun. It's just like the perfect contrast. It's just amazing. You hike up like there's this walk. I think it's called the Gold Creek Trail. I think it's what we did. It's a beautiful hike. It's like you can do it in like probably an hour and a half.
That's not bad.
Depending on like how fast you're walking, but it's like a super simple trail. Like there's people pushing strollers up it and stuff. Like it's not like
Okay, so it's like
hard to do
friendly.
hike.
Yeah.
But it's gorgeous. It's insane. You can go up to this beautiful waterfall and everything, and it's like so accessible. And I didn't even realize like you could take anyone up there.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah,
All the best hikes are like not even like an hour away.
Yeah,
crazy.
it's like that's the beauty of living in BC, I guess. At least, like, I didn't even realize when I was younger. I didn't even appreciate the nature nearly as much as I did now. That's honestly a lot from the psychedelics as well. Like those have made me appreciate the nature like so much. Like just everything with that.
And yeah, that I did want to get into that, the psychedelics. But first, before we do that, Andre, how was your week?
Yes.
Well, I was with you Thursday or Wednesday. I don't know.
Wednesday.
Yeah. That was a long day.
It was a long day.
227 pictures.
227 photos.
I'm gonna start that tomorrow, and I'm not looking forward to it.
What are you taking photos for?
I'm a photographer, and like on my website, and majority of my photos have just been like my fiance. Say if we go downtown or just like for a walk, and on my portfolio and on my website, it was a lot of pictures of her, but just like downtown photos or the park. And I just figured, I'm like, well, I might need some more diversity. So like me and him went out for about 4 hours, roughly.
I want to say 3.
Yeah. 3 different styles, 3 different places. Or sorry, 2 different places. And then prior to him, was another mutual friend of ours, her boyfriend and her dog. And then today I went out and hung out with a friend and didn't take any pictures, but I just went to hang out with him. So I just basically have been asking friends if I could just take some time out of their day and just take some photos for free, just so I can add a lot more besides my fiance on my page.
And that's perfect because then they get some nice quality pictures.
Exactly. It's a win-win for everyone.
Is it like portrait style or just like
portrait, headshots, couples, for like singles and couples, but yeah, it was a lot of portraits of him. And then when it was my friend, her boyfriend, and the dog, it was like all 3 of them. Sometimes just the 2, sometimes just the dog. But I do like product, portraits, headshots. I want to get into engagement, and I want to try wedding. I haven't dabbled in those yet. I want to.
That's big money though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's where like that's where like all of it is. I got asked to do a wedding last year for this year, but I just wasn't super confident, and I just told them, I'm like, look, I'd love to, but I'm just not there yet. But now that I've kind of gotten a bit more time under my belt, I want to be what is a second shooter. So basically, if you were the lead photographer, I'd be like if you were taking pictures of the bride and the groom and the family, I'd be taking pictures of like the guests and everything.
Okay.
Yeah. So like I'd be
yeah,
so like
but like they have to have a main photographer focus.
Exactly. So if you were shooting all like high pictures, I'd be shooting the low. If you were shooting on that side, I'd be on that side. So I want to be the other guy. So A, I can get a feel for it, and B, I can understand how it all works.
Yeah, that sounds sick.
Yeah. So
be like, you get to try something new. I mean, expand.
Exactly. Right. So yeah. So me and him, from just that day, I have like 227 pictures of him. So tomorrow I'm gonna go home, find a few, throw them on the website, and then go from there.
Do you edit everything as well?
I edit and take all the pictures.
How's the editing process for photos? Because I've always used like the basic editors, like a Visco editor, like some just like filters that is on like a basic app.
So I use Lightroom.
That's the computer only, right?
And app too.
They have an app for it. Yeah, they have an app for it.
Yeah, but I think the desktop has more.
The desktop definitely does.
Yeah,
because the Lightroom on your phone is actually free for you to use. Because I know Jane uses it for her photos,
and I do too.
And it's pretty useful on the phone if you can get a hang for it. But there's so many more options if you want to like dive really in depth.
Yeah, and on the desktop you can fine tune a bit more. But basically, how I do it is, so say for example with his pictures, I'll edit one picture how I on it, and then I'll copy that preset and then just post it to other photos. So it kind of cuts the time in half, but not always the same style works on the same picture.
Yeah, if it's like similar backgrounds and stuff.
Yeah.
Get away with it.
Yeah. So like it's a lot of like what really works, what doesn't work. Maybe I can use the same settings but tweak them a bit. So like it's not always a pain in the butt, but sometimes like say if we took like 50 photos in like 50 different places, then it would be like, all right, well, this is gonna suck because it's every photo is a different style. And
yeah, you're just editing so many different types of photos.
Exactly, right. So yeah, editing can be a pain in the butt, but it can also be very therapeutic and also easy if all the pictures are kind of the same place and style.
It's probably about like 90% of photography is the editing.
Easily.
Like the actual taking of the pictures isn't even really like it takes some skill, but I feel like the real skill comes in when you're editing the photos, because that's where a majority of your work goes.
Yeah, because you could take I could take a picture of like this and like it may not look good, and then throwing it in Lightroom and the post, you could turn a bad picture into a good picture.
Yeah.
So how much editing is allowed for it to still be considered like a true like photograph compared to like Photoshop, like a photo, I guess?
Ooh, that's a great
It's a pretty good question.
Yeah.
Because I always thought that like I never tried to put many edits. I'd always try to do like the finest amount of edits possible, because I was like, you had to like take the photo a certain way to get that camera angle, or get the sun to shine a certain way.
Yeah.
Like,
I believe that
photography, so
I believe that I like to do as little.
I think the biggest thing is if you're changing if it's a portrait, if you're changing how the person looks, then it's Photoshop. But if you remove like maybe a blemish, like that's fine. But if you like change somebody who maybe like if you reduce their if you make their hips look bigger, and you make their arms look bigger, or you change something that's physically about them, that's what I'd probably like in a major way. Okay, that's what I'd say is
so like that is the picture that I took, and that's how I did that. So like that's how I like very little things.
Yeah,
right?
You just make the colors look a lot nicer.
Yeah, I just try and make the colors pop a bit more and like a bit more saturation, and just try and bring out the shadows a bit, and that's all I do. Right? Okay. So like I don't like to like overdo things, because then it just looks like it's Photoshop, right? I try and make sure when I take the photo, all I have to do is just like a bit more color, maybe the shadows there, dim the highlights a bit, and that's all. That's all I do.
I guess if you understand how the editing works, like when you're taking the photo, you can know like, oh, I'll add, like I want this beam of sun because I'll be able to brighten that a little
exactly, right? Yeah. So like, and I think that's the beauty of photography, is like when you're taking the picture, already thinking of the post. That way you cut your time in half for everything.
Yeah, a lot of it.
But that can be hard, because trying to find the right angle is also super.
It's difficult. Like there's a lot of work that goes into it for sure. And like just from like watching how Jane does her stuff, like her stuff isn't even as in depth, but like the amount of time that she spends editing photos and like going through and like editing like short reels for Instagram and stuff like that. Like,
reels is a whole different other thing.
Yeah, but it takes a long time. Like it's not something that just comes together. A lot of people think that photography might just be like snapping a really good photo, but it's
taking
not.
a picture's not that hard. Then you fucking do it.
Yeah, you do it. You take a good photo and then show it compared to an actual photographer who spent now like 2 to 3 hours editing a bunch of photos, and you compare them, and they're just the world of difference, because like you showed him, like the previous might not have had the best color, but then you bring out those colors, you make it look a lot better in post, and that's really where
even like with
photography
the edits, it like drew me more to the center of the picture as well, so you want it to look like at them instead of the background.
Exactly. That's the goal, especially with like portraits and stuff, is like I like to try and dim the background just a hair, so your eye automatically goes to the subject. Yeah. Right. So
that's very nice.
But
thank you.
I guess
That's my week.
Yeah, that's your week.
Yeah, that's just a whole bunch of pictures, basically.
I would love to get into photography. I think like I don't know. I love nature so much. Whenever I'm walking around, I'll always be just like taking pictures of things that I'll like see if I like. Oh, that just looks nice. I'll just take a picture. But I don't know how to do like. I never taken any classes or like learned anything.
I didn't.
I just snap pictures.
When you do the editing, it really, I mean, it comes down to personal preference. Like if you look at two different photographers who take the same photo, the post will be different for both, just because they have different visions and it'll look a little bit different. Like each person has, if you look at different photography styles, like the pictures look different, but they might be the same style. Like one portrait can look completely different from another portrait just because of the editing of that.
Like five people could take a picture of like this laptop, and I bet my bank account all 5 pictures in post will look completely different because everybody plays with the settings a little bit differently. Everybody uses different things. Some people might want the contrast higher. Some people want the saturation higher. Some people want to. Some might crank the clarity and then kill the shadows. There's all kinds of different things.
All kinds of different things.
But like I just find photography to be a big puzzle, and I love doing puzzles. So like once you kind of get the hang of it, and I'm constantly learning, and I didn't go to school. Like I'm self-taught. I've just been doing it for I think close to 6 months now, and all it is just like reps and rinse and repeat.
Yeah, I guess
constantly.
The more photos you take, they're just gonna get better.
Yeah, and I mean, like when I first started to now, I mean, I look back at some of my old things and I'm like, woof, wow, right? Mm-hmm. But all it is just like, and there's some days where I'll just hop in the car, drive to like Green Timbers, and I'll just walk around the park, just like shooting pictures of like ducks. And everything.
Is beautiful.
It's especially going there and I'm glad that we had the sunshine that day because it made everything way better.
Yeah.
So
I think the photos are going to turn out really well.
I'm gonna start a batch of them tomorrow. I might just go like fit by fit.
Yeah. Because that's probably the best way.
Fits.
Yeah, there was like a nice like summer casual where it was a pair of Jordans. No, sorry, Dunks, high socks, beige shorts. And a button up.
Yeah, it was a button up with a white tee under.
Yeah, and then a more of a skater.
I'd say like streetwear.
Streetwear, thank you. Yeah, it was blue high top
Jordan ones,
black jeans, nice blue
Nike crew
to match the shoes, and then skateboard, and then the last fit, which is actually my favorite, which is business / preppy. So like a turtleneck. Yeah. Trench coat, these pants, nice shoes.
No, it wasn't these pants actually.
No,
I have 2 different pants and they look kind of similar.
I swear it was those ones.
Yeah, it's crazy. The other ones. I have 2. Those ones I need to get hemmed. These ones I don't. These ones are actually a bit short.
Okay, yeah, but like same, almost same pants.
Yeah, very similar.
And a pair of nice shoes and sunglasses. I'll show you all the pictures after though. Yeah. How's your week?
My week, it's been, I mean, school's just been like a little bit much just this week, but I mean, I think I'm getting better at everything. And like, I feel like it's always a struggle the first couple weeks. The first few weeks are always the toughest. And then after that, it's just like it coasts by. Like,
is this week 2 for you now?
This is week 2 for me.
Right.
Yeah.
You finished, like, I just finished mine during your first week.
Yeah. You finished, the first week I started. Yeah. So ours overlapped like by 1 week, but yeah, I'm starting now, and it's a little bit stressful, but it is what it is. I'm getting through. I'm going
hours of studying you doing now? You actually studying this year?
Yeah. Well, I'm studying just for I did this last year too. Like last level, I did maybe like a couple hours every week, maybe a bit more than that. I would probably say like 4 hours every week, spread out throughout the week of studying for the first few weeks. And then after that, I didn't study at all. And you know that. And I just killed that course. It was just so easy. So I think once I have kind of these basics down, I think I won't be studying too much other than a few specific sections. Motors will be a big one. But I'm doing Transformers right now. So it's a little bit, it's okay. It's once I study tomorrow, I have a test on Monday. Once I study tomorrow, because today's Saturday, I will be good and ready for the test. I've about 80% down. I just want to get that extra 20% down and really fully understand it from front to back. But other than that, my week has been pretty good. Just doing so much stuff between school, working out at the gym, and then studying, and then I'm good. Thank you though. And editing. I'm editing a YouTube video for me and Jane. It's our anniversary video.
Oh, hell yeah.
So that's been taking so much time. Like I spent 3 hours today just doing part of it. I've probably spent like 10 hours alone, like editing this one video.
How long is the video supposed to be?
It's probably going to be like 13 to 15 minutes.
13 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Dear Lord.
Yeah.
That's going to be a lot of editing.
Yeah. But to be fair, I have edited in the past a lot, especially when I was in high school. I took 4 years of film in high school. And from everything that I've learned from then, I'm incorporating that and more now, and really thoroughly going through this video, because I don't want it just to be like a video that I just cut up and clip and put there. I'm going above and beyond, creating the story, creating the doing all of the different I guess like all the different soundtracks and everything that goes through it, making sure that all of the B-roll that I've shot is like really well done and clipped well, and making sure that like all the effects are in place, like with transitions, effects, text overlays, all that kind of stuff. It takes a long time to go through that kind of content, especially for someone like me who's like, I'm pretty particular on how I like my shit.
Regardless of what you do, when it gets on to YouTube, I'm just gonna thumbs down it. Regardless of what you do.
That's fine.
And I'm just gonna comment like, this is shit.
Shut up. Don't do that. Jane will get mad.
I'm like, this is shit, like, leave him.
Why do we have haters?
Honestly, she'll be like, why did Andre say this? She's gonna go off into a spiral about how you don't like her.
And then you'll have to hear about it.
Yeah.
So I win technically.
Fuck you.
Yeah,
Hate you. Okay, so I guess let's move on. I brought Max on because
His name's Mike. I hate this.
Jeez.
It's not my fault. I dealt with a fucking mic for like half an hour before this.
half an hour. It was like probably 2 hours.
Before I showed up, you guys were doing it.
Not my fault, okay?
Yeah.
Starting a mic for fuck 2 hours. Everything's Mike to me.
Yeah, everything's Mike to you. I'm Mike.
Yeah.
We're all Mike.
I'm gonna go home and be like, hey Mike, I mean Miles.
Mike
Jesus. Fuck.
Call your kid Mike.
I
That'd
call
be
my
hilarious.
kid Mike. God.
So Max has a lot of experience doing psychedelics.
Well, not depends on the not like
He
every
made you
kind of
sound like a
psychedelic.
hippie.
Yeah, okay. I've got
You are.
The thing is, okay, I would say
To be fair.
somewhat of a hippie. I would say I'm definitely a lot more into like more spiritual and more like nature-y and like meditative type practices and like things like that.
How old are you?
20.
Damn, I am fucking the oldest one here. I'm 10 years older than you. I hate this.
Yep.
Shit, I wouldn't even know.
You're 5 years older than me.
I hate this.
Yep.
I know how my parents feel. So okay, so I haven't really dealt with any psychedelics myself. So this is actually cool that I get to talk to someone who has, because I'm not like against them. I just have never done them. I'm very open to them.
There's
and
definitely
basically
like
everything that you talked about. So I guess my first question is like, how did you get into this?
So I was always like just curious about them. When like my
Mike,
dad.
closer.
Oh, I'm sorry. My dad never like both my parents never loved psychedelics. They didn't like do any psychedelics really. They were just mainly like drink or smoke, like just basic kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so I never had anybody like that got me into it. I just kind of heard about them online and like I'd seen YouTube videos and like I'd heard about like what my ex-girlfriend at the time. She had not a lot, but she had some mental health. And I was trying to. Everyone does. It's like
True.
yeah.
Every single person does.
Everybody
and
does.
I'm not saying it to be a dick, but like
no,
legitimately,
it's completely.
Who doesn't?
Everyone does. Literally,
We're
and
all
that's part of. That's the main reason why I love psychedelics.
This whole podcast, this regular podcast crew, me, you, and Sheldon, we are all mentally
Bro,
You today were just off.
mentally
especially
off.
in like with the society nowadays and just like the work grind and just like everything you got to get done. Everyone's stressed 24/7. Everyone's fucking. And I was like, I need to get away from this. I need to figure out something. Like, there's something wrong with this.
Yeah.
And I was researching different things that help with mental health, and like mushrooms, like psilocybin mushrooms, was having a lot of like. There's a lot of research done, like I can't give you the exact dates, but I think it was like in the 70s or 60s and stuff like that is when it started to come back. But they used to do research like a long time ago. I'm sure.
So you don't know exactly when it.
That's my bad.
Came
Yeah,
back?
I can't give you the exact
fucking
dates.
fake fan.
Fucking sorry,
Right? Fake
guys.
fan.
What a fake
I don't
fan.
wanna, I can't.
Oh, I
wanna
do
give out
mushrooms.
fake
Shut up.
news, but like I've watched a lot of videos. I just don't memorize everything. But anyways, they're really popular, and then the government banned a lot of psychedelics quite a while ago because they were. Well, I don't want to get into the politics side of it. Anyways, psychedelics were helping with mental health a lot, and you can take like large doses of them or smaller doses of them depending on what you want to go for. And if you go for like a larger dose, you're gonna be having a kind of experience that's like it's purely created by your mind.
Yeah.
So like if you
yeah.
have anything that you need to deal with mentally, and you can't hide from it if you take these doses. Like what the main way they do it, like therapy wise, is you'll talk with a counselor and you'll get like accompanied with them and like get used to that counselor and comfortable with them. And then when it's finally time to like do the dose, they'll give you a larger dose around like a 3 to 5 gram dose of mushrooms, which like
So it's almost like a guided trip.
it is kind
I
of.
don't want to say trip, but like
It is. No, it is. It is.
Yeah,
It is a
okay,
trip.
okay.
Like when they put on a blindfold and they put on headphones and they play nice, relaxing music and
really?
yeah, and you just fully are blind and your brain creates this entire thing. And people have
That's kind of wild.
people have entire visions of like past memories. Like they'll see memories from like their childhood, like an experience they remember specifically, but from like a third person point of view. And they'll be like, why
So
am I
like how
being
like
shown
in
this?
Doctor Strange when they float up their body,
Literally,
like
I've had like full on out of body experiences and stuff like that from psychedelics where it's like I no longer believe that like you're just in this body. I believe that like we're here for a temporary period of time and like that's this life and we're not sure what this life is for, but you might as well just like spread some love and enjoy it while you're here because like you're going to just go away to some other area after this and then you're going to come back again. It's just like it's like a short period. Like imagine a fish swimming. You jump up, you have your life, and then you dive back into this like big pond of just like existence.
I didn't know like that was an actual thing where you could have like a couple of days with a counselor and then like just have that kind of experience.
Yeah, they're actually bringing it back. Like Vancouver, especially why I love BC, is like they just legalized all drugs. Like you can
Bring
have
cocaine
like,
in the pot.
literally, you can have up to
Let's do it.
2.5 grams carried of like almost any substance right now. And it's like, it doesn't make any sense because it's like some substances, 2.5 grams is nothing. And some substances like fentanyl, 2.5 grams is like a ridiculous amount. That's like deadly.
Still good?
Oh yeah. But I got into psychedelics because I heard about the therapeutic benefits and I wanted to try and like I tried microdosing a little bit, which is like where you take like a quarter of a gram.
Yep.
Every like I did 5 days on and then the weekends off.
Yeah, I tried it here actually where I tried
Oh yeah.
one pill and then it didn't really do anything and then 2 pills. And at the time I was kind of going through some stuff internally where basically my son was going through some things and like I as a father couldn't help him because it was things that was like internally happening with him. So I like legitimately couldn't help him, but just kind of like be there for him. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And like it really hurt me because like I can't help
There's nothing
my
you can
son
physically do.
except just like watch it happen, and it sucked really badly. But I think I just never like I put it away, and then I did the microdosing here, and I was with Cooper and Sheldon, and I like broke down and like cried for like half an hour or something.
Yeah.
I broke down here, and like after that I was like, whoa. I was like, okay, that feels like I felt so much better. It was crazy. Yeah, and then I did 3 pills, and that's when I was like, okay, 3 is a bit too much because like I think I sat in that chair and I just
Dude, you were gone. He was gone. There was 45 minutes where he was sitting there and he was just staring. And me and Sheldon were just talking.
I was staring at like his Dragon Ball statues and like for like 45 minutes it was silence from me.
Me and Sheldon were just talking, and I didn't even realize. Like, I think we were just going off about something. We were talking about stuff, and then I looked over, and we were like, "Holy shit, he's been gone this entire time."
So, how many milligrams is in each of these capsules? Does it say?
I think it was like a quarter gram.
A quarter gram in each one. Okay.
It was a quarter.
That's fair.
No, it was a quarter or a half.
Because like
quarter or a half.
When I started out taking like a gram to like a gram and a half of mushrooms. Also, when I do psychedelics, I don't do like all of the crazy ones. I've only done the natural stuff, which is mushrooms and DMT is natural, but not natural depending on what you believe. Your brain naturally has DMT in it, and so does like plants all around you, and like it's released when you're born and when you die. So like I believe it's somewhat natural.
Yeah, right there. I know it's annoying.
I know it's a pain in the ass.
We're gonna be upgrading these mics to better mics. We promise it will come soon.
Oh my god, guys, hold on. Is this good?
Yeah, that's probably good.
Okay, perfect. So I've only tried those psychedelics. So that's all just the natural stuff. Mushrooms, obviously, they grow out of the ground and just dried up, and then you just have them like that. But I started out taking like a gram and a half to like 2 grams, and like you can get some visuals from that. But it's going to be nothing crazy. But if you add marijuana, which is like, I love me some marijuana. You know?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Delicious. And especially with mushrooms, you can smoke forever. Like literally it just feels so amazing inhaling and exhaling smoke. Like you can feel it swirling around as you inhale it. And it's just like, it's beautiful. You have so much more like in tune with your body.
Did you start taking psychedelics due to like, were you going through anything, or were you just legitimately curious about the whole thing?
I never had too much mental health. I mainly started taking them because I was curious about it, and I also wanted to see if it was safe for my ex-girlfriend to possibly try as well, because I wanted to see if like it was something that would be able to help her.
Oh yeah,
because
before you mentioned that she was dealing with something.
Yeah, she was dealing with some stuff, and I figured that like I was trying to do everything I could to help her, and so I was researching mental health and like different things and tried a bunch of different things or like suggested things that she could try. And I'd seen a lot about psychedelics, and she was very like hesitant in it. And so I wanted to try it out myself first before I recommended it to her.
Of course, yeah.
Because I wouldn't want to give, especially like this, all the stuff you hear, like the stigma around psychedelics is like, you're going to go crazy and jump off a building and think you're going to fly and like all this crazy stuff like that, which is like, that's not what it's like. Like psychedelics aren't going to, if you take really high doses and you don't do it in a safe way, it can be like that. You can be tripping complete balls and seeing things that are not happening. Like that can happen, but that's why you're safe with it, and you take the correct dosages and you research your products. And if you're taking things like MDMA or acid or any of those other psychedelics that are like lab made, you need to like test that stuff, get a test kit, make sure everything's safe, because you don't want to mess around with that kind of stuff. Your brain is a very like sensitive organ. Like, you don't want to.
I did MDMA once at a music festival, and it was crazy. I remember I took it, and immediately I'm like, well, I don't feel anything, and everyone's like, just wait. So then we were walking through the music festival, and it was at night, and at night all the stands, all the neon lights come on.
Oh yeah.
And I was going for and I was walking, and I stopped, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? And it seemed like someone went into my head and just turned up the saturation to like 100. Like, so everything was so bright, and like all the reds were like deep red. And I stopped, and I was like, uh-oh. And then like I was like,
you're like, what's going on?
And then my friend tapped me on the shoulder, and he's like, are you good? And I just turned and just did this, and he's like, oh, he's like, okay, just chill. He's like, how are you? And I was like, and he's like, you're not going to talk, are you? And for like an hour, apparently I didn't say a word. So I had a bandana around my neck, and I just put it up above my mouth, and I was wearing a poncho because it was raining previously, and I just put up the hood, and I had the bandana, and I felt safe. And for like an hour, I was just like a gremlin in this fucking poncho and bandana.
Had you ever tried psychedelics before that?
No, That's my
and you
first.
did it at a festival too.
I'll fuck it. Here we go.
See that? You know what? That's how the best or
haven't
worst
tried them
experiences
since.
are made.
I haven't tried them since. It was a one-time thing, and I was like, it was one of the greatest highs
Other
of my
than
life.
so
the
many
capsules you did
people-
here.
Yeah, pardon me.
Like
yeah.
so many people do that. They have like, especially with MDMA, they're like, I haven't tried it yet. I would love to. I've heard that like at music festivals and stuff, it's amazing.
So good.
I haven't had the opportunity yet, but
Yeah.
I'm sure I will in the future. But people like, if you do it at a festival, you can either like take too much and have like set and setting is very important for like psychedelics.
Of course, yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that, and they think like, oh, I'm just gonna take these mushrooms at a party and like it'll be fine. But your brain's gonna be going at 1,000 miles
It's
a
gonna
minute.
spaz out.
And like you're gonna be overthinking like crazy. You're
Yeah.
gonna be like thinking about every left, right, and center thing. Like you need to be alone, not alone, but like with some friends, with like,
Yeah,
a safe
no,
spot,
yeah.
somewhere you feel comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like if you have a strong enough mindset, or like people have had amazing experiences in bad scenarios with psychedelics. Like some people do just like take MDMA, and I'm sure you had a great time at that festival.
Yeah, and like
And,
I'm
like-
like I told everyone there that like, like including my friends, I'm like, I've never done this, and they're like,
Mhm.
we will 100% be there if anything
Yeah,
starts
so
to
you had
happen.
some people watching out for you.
Yeah,
And you
they were like, if you feel uncomfortable, just say something. We will get you anything you need. So like, they
That's
wanted
nice,
me to
yeah.
do it and experience it, but they also knew that like, if anything was to go awry the slightest,
Mhm.
they got me, which helped me put me in the mindset of like, okay, I'm around people that if I start to panic, they got me.
That's what I'm trying to
So
say.
that helps so much.
Because like I would like to try MDMA, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to. I don't know if I should try it for the first time at a music festival, or if I should try it at home to like get used to what the feeling is, or at least have experienced it before. That way, I'm not like in the middle of this festival, all of a sudden like a police officer or someone bumps into me and I like freak the fuck out or something.
Yeah. I'm not high.
Yeah, literally.
What?
I wouldn't want to do something like that, but like at the same time, it could be the first time you have an experience with that thing is like a certain kind of like the first time trying something is always an amazing experience.
It's
That's how I
set,
enjoy
like
it.
you said, it's set and setting, right? Like
Yeah.
you don't know if that's
And like
if
a
that-
music festival's got the music, it's got the LED lights, it's got
Dude,
the
it
lasers,
was
it's fucking-
unreal.
That's what MDMA is for. MDMA is made for. It feels like
Yeah.
there's actually some therapy they do with MDMA as well.
I've
because
heard about that, yeah.
When you take MDMA, you're really able to talk. It's really good for like PTSD and people that can't talk about these like traumatic things that have happened to
Mhm.
them. Because a lot of the time, your brain will just start to shut down and it'll just like overload with emotions, and you won't be able to like talk and actually like work through these things that you're like dealing with. But if you take MDMA, it just like you just feel love
Kinda breaks
and
that
happiness
wall.
and like yeah. There's none of that sadness that's like and like emotion that's coming over you. All you can feel is happiness, and like you're talking about this really sad thing, yet you can still like think about it clearly, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But again, this is all like done with professionals. They do it in like a certain like I'm sure you could do it at your at home if you wanted to, but
Mhm.
I would recommend going to the professionals.
No, of
because
course, right?
It's
Yeah.
just the safe way to do it.
No, yeah, for sure. But
And Vancouver is one of the places. I don't know if they have MDMA therapy here, but I know that they have some mushroom therapy stuff here.
I would not mind trying mushroom therapy, but we've talked about because him and Sheldon have done it,
yes.
and they want
Yep.
they want to bring me out this year and try it.
We did it one time. We did it last summer.
Yeah.
We went
You're talking
to
about mushrooms?
and we went to Crescent Beach. I took a very light dose, but it was definitely an experience. Sheldon, of course, being the mad lad that he is, just chewed on a bunch of them.
Sheldon full sends everything.
He does full send everything, and he
I would
was.
like to meet this Sheldon guy.
Oh, you would
I'm
love
in his
him.
house currently, which is lovely, but I haven't
Yeah.
got to meet him yet.
Yeah, it's an awkward situation, him not
and
being here, but
Side tangent. We need you to steal something because he thinks that you might steal something.
he was worried because he doesn't know who you are. He's like, "Don't let him steal anything." I'm like, Sheldon, do you
So-
think I'm gonna bring someone to your house?
Yeah, just
that's gonna take
Damn,
us.
I was
Just-
literally thinking of robbing this guy blind.
take a
Literally, like-
take a spoon and leave a note saying "Good luck finding it."
Good luck finding this
That's
food.
it.
I won't even take it. I'll just leave the note, and he'll go crazy looking for a spoon that's missing. That's not even there.
And just say from Cooper's friend. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, it's a interesting situation because this is Sheldon's
We are
place.
Sheldon's place. Sheldon's not here.
Sheldon's not here because I mean this is the podcast setup, but because of medical issues, he's out. I don't think he's actually going to be back for
a couple
weeks. So it's probably just going to be me, Andre, and a guest.
A guest possibly, and if we can't, then it might just be us.
It might just be us.
That'll
just sucking each other off. Just sucking each other's.
It's basically just gonna be a porno thing.
Subscribe to the Patreon, guys.
Yeah, we are. We're gonna be just doing dirty, nasty things for an hour and a half. It'll be fantastic. It's gonna be like a Riley Reid porno,
but not.
Huh?
But not because it's two guys. Exactly. So it's gonna be.
Sometimes there's two guys.
He's got us there.
I like Mike.
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 But yeah, so I wanted to ask you if you're comfortable with it, but I wanted you to go over what your craziest experience was with psychedelics.
Okay. That was actually quite recently. I had a pretty interesting experience.
Bad or good?
I would say good.
Okay.
Depending on who you are, you could classify it as bad or good.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people, if they have a bad trip, it may have just been a trip that was very like stressful because you had to deal with a lot of stuff you didn't want to deal with.
Of course, yeah.
Or it may have just been really intense. So it may be like scary, but to me, I don't necessarily classify it as bad. But
Mom's here.
I'm sure to beat your ass.
Doggo. What's up? Oh my gosh.
Hi, Kona.
This fluffy dog. Hello, my friend.
I don't know why you sat down. You got probably gotta go let her out.
That's probably true. Let's see.
Is she gonna stay?
Nope. She probably wants to go. I'll get the door. Continue.
Yeah, she definitely wants to go.
So what was I saying? Oh yeah. So it was quite recently. I went to a party at one of my friends' houses, and I've gone to their house quite a few times for parties.
Mm-hmm.
Not like a massive party, like between like 10 to 20 people. Just like some close friends of theirs and like a couple of my buddies. Like it's kind of just like a big group of us.
Mm-hmm.
And this time there was only like probably 8 or 10 people that were coming throughout the entire night. And I knew everyone there except for these 2 girls. And they were one of my buddy's roommates from Alberta. And so I was like, okay, I'm sure if he got along with them as he thought they were his roommates, obviously they're good people. And so I decided I was going to do some mushrooms that night. And I'd just normally on a party night, I would do 1 gram of mushrooms and I would drink and smoke like a little bit of both after the peak of the like dosage. So around like an hour and a half or like an hour into your dose of mushrooms is when you like start to get to the peak. And then after that, it'll slowly...
Takes that long?
Yeah. Well, because it's a build up. It slowly gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And then it'll slowly wind off.
Oh, okay.
But it's like you can be between 6 to 8 hours depending on how much you take. Because if you take like large doses, like 4 or 5 grams, you could be tripping for like 8 hours.
Yeah,
Holy shit!
I took I told you I took 1 gram, and
it didn't hit you until you were.
It didn't hit me for 4 hours.
That's wild.
Like I
That's
started to
crazy.
I started seeing like everything became like a little bit more crisp just for like maybe if you turn the saturation up like 5 or 10%. Everything was nice. I'm like, oh, this is amazing. Like, this is actually a really nice feeling. Meanwhile, Sheldon's touching grass to make sure that he's still on Earth. That is not even an analogy. That is exactly what he was doing at the time.
You know what?
Wasn't he concerned about that one
that makes
piece
sense.
of grass?
No, okay, so we were sitting on this little dock, right? And I'd love for Sheldon to be. I think he told it on the pod. I can't remember. But we're sitting on this little. It's just like this little rundown dock that's just sitting in the middle of like this little grass field on Crescent Beach, and so we set up on there. It's really small. It's about maybe the size of this area here, and we set up two lawn chairs. We have some snacks. We have some music playing. It's nice. Nice setting. And then all of a sudden, Sheldon's like starting to see things. He's like, oh man. He's like, I really need to touch grass right now. And there's this little wood. So the dog.
Gamer. He's a gamer, isn't
he?
Yeah.
So there's the planks on half of this are gone. So it's literally just like this like kind of wood studding that goes around, and it kind of made like a little box. Yeah, it's just like it would be like a wooden box.
At the end of Crescent Beach by the parking lot.
Yep.
I know exactly.
So the grass was growing in the middle, and he's like, I need to touch the grass, and then he's like, but I can't touch that grass, and I'm like, what? Like, what are you on about? He's like, I can't touch this grass because it's trapped. I need to feel grass that's free. And I was like, whoa, you are off your rocker right now, buddy.
Is the grass trapped or you?
Are you? So this is all happening whilst I'm just kind of like feeling a little bit nice. I mean, at this point, like I didn't feel anything.
Right?
Like I had one grind and I didn't feel anything.
And you didn't smoke or anything like that with it?
No. And
that's
then
where it brings it up a lot.
See, we were going to, and but like he was tripping too much, so I was like, I don't want to smoke alone. So you know what? I'll just wait. So then we get back to the car. We're driving back, and it hits me. And the worst part was, it didn't hit me before. 4 hours in, I didn't think it was going to hit me. I'm like, this is cool. 10% saturation boost, whatever. It was nice. Now, I start driving because he's way too gone to drive. And it hits me, and everything becomes a movie. And that's everything I explained. I drove all the way home perfectly, no problems. I was completely and utterly focused on the road and nothing else. And I shouldn't have done it. But at the same time, it had hit me when we were already on the road. Like we had already left the parking lot and we're driving at this point, and then it hit me. I'm like, this is not good. But
situations can can make dosages hit you so much harder. Like a stressful situation, like if you're not supposed to be high and someone comes home and it's like your parents come home and all of a sudden you're stressed, that psychedelic is gonna hit you so much harder than if you were relaxed just sitting at the beach, like chilling out.
Yeah.
Because you're in this different situation and your brain's reacting differently. Like your fight or flight's kicking in. Like it's a change of environment. You're not sure what's happening. Like it's crazy what it can do to you.
Your parents come home and the high is like, hey, guess what?
Yeah,
guess what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna just spike up to 50.
But we got back here. We had some delicious food, and we then spent the rest of the day just kind of chilling here. It was nice. It was a nice little experience for sure.
Sheldon ever touch any grass? Did he?
Oh, he definitely did.
Okay.
He touched the grass outside the house. He hopped off the dock and was touching the grass.
Okay.
He loved the
Yeah,
grass.
he was sitting there touching the grass for like 10 minutes.
And you know what?
Attaboy.
That's what I love about mushrooms is like you just appreciate the little things. Like grass, you're just like, this is beautiful. Like for me, the surface tension of water, I did not appreciate the surface tension of water until I did mushrooms. And then I was like, you know how many things we couldn't have without the surface tension of water? So many things.
That's a high person thing to say.
Like,
It
so
100%.
many
That's a
different
high
things.
person thing to
Like
say.
sitting, you ever sat in a kayak? It's so weird. You're like in the water, but you're not. You're like outside of the water, but it's like technically the
That's a
boat's in
high
the
thing to
water.
say.
I am a little.
You're sitting in a
I'm pretty
kayak
fried. I did
And you're just like not in the water, but in the water.
That's how it feels.
Think about it. It's like,
Think
whoa.
about it. Whoa.
Because you're not in the water. You're like it's like sectioned out. You know, like imagine the water.
Oh, I get it, but it's just like that's such a high thing to say.
But like, anyways,
I hate when my
Alright,
watch
Siri.
does that too. I'll be explaining something and she's like, fuck shit, does not exist in the dictionary. And I'm like, I didn't even.
You have little tighteners on the side.
shit.
Oh, Andre's getting a call. Oh, no, other way. You're probably loosening
No,
it.
I got it now.
You got it? Nice. Just tighten her up.
There we
But
go.
yeah, so your experience, your most high experience.
Oh yeah. So I went to this party and I had 2 grams and I said, you know what, tonight I'm gonna smoke from the beginning of my trip instead of from the end after the peak because I wanted to try that out because one of my buddies said that he smokes throughout the entirety of his trip and it gets rid of the gut rot because sometimes when you take mushrooms, if they're not like I've heard people say that it's depending on the mushrooms you have. I don't know about that. Maybe it's depending on the type of mushroom or the strain. But you get a little bit of an upset stomach in the beginning.
Mm.
A lot of people get like nausea problems, but obviously smoking weed will help with nausea. It's amazing for that. That's why cancer patients use it. And so I was like, I'm going to try smoking throughout the entire thing. So before they even hit, I've taken like 3 or 4 bong chops, which like, it's at least I didn't do dabs. Dabs are bad.
For anybody who's watching this, 3 or 4 bong chops might sound like a lot to you, but that's a normal day.
Okay, hold on. Well, sometimes.
Sometimes.
I prefer to dab. Dabbing's my favorite. I have like
That's true.
the
You have the whole
concentrates
rig.
they're the best.
Is this the mic that does the bongers before the gym?
Yes, he is.
What is wrong
It's
with you?
okay. Working out high is so amazing. You have the best mind muscle connection. like imagine.
That is true. I did it for the first time like last year, and it was not a. It was a sativa pen.
Mm-hmm. You gotta have the sativa.
And I was like, I like drove to the gym, and I was sitting in my car. I took pre-workout, and I was like,
pre with it too. That's a.
And I was like, you know what? I'm like,
in a good way.
I'm like, I see everyone do it. I'm like, fuck it. I'm just gonna do it. So I did it. I sat there. I waited for a bit. I sipped on the pre, and then I walked in the gym, and I walked into the weight room. And for some reason, it was like someone fucking put horse blinders on me. And I was like, I'm going to lift fucking everything in this gym.
You're just
and
ready.
People would talk to me, and I'm like, I don't got time for you today.
Yeah, you're just in your own zone.
I was like,
beautiful.
I had the best workout.
Right?
I left the gym, and I was like, fuck, what's next?
It's literally
I was so into the gym.
Like, I find like flow state is the best thing in the entire world. Like when you're just so focused on something that you're not even realizing time's going by. You're just so zoned in on it. And like smoking weed especially helps with that so much. I will get like locked into whatever I'm doing, especially the gym, like to the point of just like, if you get gym anxiety, sometimes smoking can really bring that in, like can make it really worse. But I have noise canceling headphones. I don't know if you guys do, but they are the shit.
AirPods.
Yeah, AirPods, they're amazing. You put them in and everything just disappears. All you have is the music and whatever's in front of you. So you just look at the ground, you lift your weights, and like I don't get anxious anymore. I just like put the headphones in and I'm good. But I took a couple bong chops and we go inside and they're like, let's play this drinking game. It's called there's different like honeycomb or like shit cup or
Shit
a
cup.
bunch of different
I
names
have
for it.
nightmares.
Yeah.
I hate shit cup.
Yeah.
Have you played it?
I love shit cups.
It's a
You wanna know
great
why?
game.
Because I'll intentionally try to get it myself.
You want the shit
Why?
cup.
I want the shit cup.
Animal. Why?
Why?
You know what
just
it
wants
used
to get fucked
You know
up.
what I used to do
It was
actually.
like free alcohol. What do you mean?
so when I used to go,
Well,
when
I used to play with sociopaths who'd put anything in that bitch.
No, they would. They put like
Oh,
whiskey, wine,
so-
fucking juice.
so I
fucking
have a buddy.
mayonnaise.
Paste.
I have a buddy who was a
No, I didn't.
Oh,
do that,
God.
but
I have a-
fucked up.
I have a buddy who was actually a bartender, and every time, we would always on like parties or like my birthday or whatever, we would get a bunch of liquor around, and I would never ask him for the drink. I'd ask my dumbass friend who I know doesn't know anything about alcohol and would just try to get me as fucked up as possible. And I was like, this is perfect. You're just going to try to get me absolutely smashed. So he would then go to the liquor bottles and pour a little bit of everything into there. Little bit of everything.
Yeah.
And I would drink the entire thing. Sometimes I'd ask him for a second one. I drank the shit cup just as a
just
as
for
a
fun, you're just
regular
asking for it.
drink.
I don't even know what to
That's
say about that.
disgusting.
That's just
Yeah. I have since stopped drinking as often. This is my drunkard days, so you know,
that. Okay,
If I
fair.
did it now, I would die.
I would probably puke. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't drink too much anymore. Like I'll drink at parties. Like I'll have some drinks, but I don't prefer to drink. I'll like mainly smoke and have a couple drinks with it.
I've
I
become
like
the same
drinking
way.
games. Drinking
Yeah.
games are fun. That's the main way you can get me to drink a lot.
Beer
put me in a
pong
game.
is like
Competitive as
my
fuck, you know?
wheelhouse.
Yeah,
Beer pong is the only way to like get me to drink. Other
it's
than that,
just
I'm like,
I need a game. It's so much more fun.
yeah, for sure.
But
for sure.
of course, I lost, and I had to drink the shit cup. So I've got about like 4 or 5 bong chops in me. I've got like this cup of mixed hard alcohols, ciders, everything, wine. And honestly, I'm feeling all right. I'm just a little bit socially awkward because I'm like I'm like listening to the person that I'm having a conversation with, but I'm having a whole other conversation with myself in my head at the same time as I'm listening to them. So
You're
I'm
like this
fuck,
person's
I,
done. What?
I
Sorry?
can't pay attention to both conversations. And so it's like, I'm trying to talk back and then I'm like, I should need to go outside. So I go out on this balcony and I talk with one of my homies and I'm like, all right. Like, I was like, we just had a little chat. I calmed down. I go back inside and I start talking to this couple that I'd met at the party a previous time. And I'm just having a conversation with them. And all of a sudden, like, I start getting like stressed out for some reason. And I feel like this buzzing in the back of my head. And I'm like, oh, that's weird. And then I'm like, oh, I'm getting really high. I was like, this high is hitting me. Like, I just feel like this melty feeling. I just feel like my head was melting in like a good way. Like, not in a bad way, but it was just
You're
like,
I gotta sit down.
It was just
right
like,
now.
yeah. And I was like, I need to tell them that I'm too high to continue this conversation. And as I remember thinking that, all of a sudden I opened my eyes and I was on the floor and they were like, Max, you okay? Wake up. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And apparently I just blacked out mid-conversation. Like I was just talking to them. They started talking. I just went... I just fucking fell to the ground.
Oh my God.
I was out for like 10 seconds. But in that time, I had like a full-on ego death, which I don't know if you guys know what an ego death is or if the viewers know what an ego death is. But
just go.
An ego death is it's when you have like a full loss of like your life. You feel like you've died. You don't know I didn't know who Max was. I didn't know where I was, what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
I was just seeing these crazy visuals and like geometric shapes and
And
spirals.
this happened in 10
like,
seconds?
Well, the thing is, I don't remember honestly what I saw.
Yeah.
I remember like a vivid, like it's like a dream almost. You know, when you can barely remember your dreams, it kind of feels like that.
Okay.
But so I don't remember too much of what I saw, but I specifically remember going, oh, this feels really weird. I was like, did I do DMT? I was like, this kind of feels like I did DMT. And then I was like, no, I didn't take DMT. I was like, I did mushrooms. And I was like, oh, so this is me coming back to my body from a trip. And I was like, oh, that makes sense. And then all of a sudden I woke up and my friends were like talking to me. And then I was like, wait, did I do mushrooms? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, fuck yeah, I feel amazing right now. Because my body just had the most euphoric feeling ever. Because when you just feel, you don't know what's going on. You're just seeing this stuff. You're like, I don't know if I'm alive. I don't know if I'm in heaven. It's like, people say that it's like psychedelics are like can be like a passage to like entering and exiting the body because of
A gateway.
like a gateway.
Yeah.
Like they can kind of like help the soul leave the body and like come back into it. And it kind of feels like that because you're like, it feels like you're in a different dimension. You don't know what you're seeing. People see like entities. They see like whole on like godlike entities that feel like you can sense that they have so much knowledge and they get often like depending on the psychedelics you do on really high doses, people have been like passed down information about like it's really normally attuned to yourself. So like whether it's a real entity that's existing out there, or it's made up by your mind or anything, but it normally tries to give you like positive information and stuff. So like there's some crazy stuff that can happen. But
yeah, he's not coming back.
I have. No, I think you need one of those because you know what? If you're ever having some issues,
what do you mean? This man's pouring his heart out to you, and you don't want him back on the pod.
He's just scared.
Like that.
You know?
He's scared.
Let him cook. You let him cook. Let him cook.
Let him.
But yeah, I'd like it, when you come back to life after like it feels like you die. You don't know you didn't die. It doesn't feel like death and pain. It's just like you don't know what's happening. In your
POV, how long was the blackout for? If you can recall.
How long did you think?
There's no sense of time. There is no sense of anything. You don't know like.
So you feel like you had a full on like experience.
Oh yeah, and then when I woke up, I was like trying to talk to my friend.
Yeah.
Like, but there was so many people crowded around me because they were all worried about me. And like I felt fine as soon as I woke up. And so I was just like, it was just a really intense high. Like it was too strong. There was like, imagine like a 50% opaque, like geometric like shapes just constantly moving over your vision. So like I can see you, but there's like all this crazy geometric shapes and
like math stuff.
Like you know all those different like spirals and like shit you'll see on like have you ever watched I don't know, there's like just videos on YouTube of like simulated trip visuals you can watch.
Interesting. Okay, yeah.
But look some of that up when you get home. It's pretty sick. It's like literally just like simulated visuals of what people can remember of their trips, and they're pretty accurate to like what you can see. It's all based on like the sacred geometry of like anyways, it's a different scenario. But this fucking you're seeing this crazy geometry shit, and it's like it's too intense of a visual to like keep my eyes open. So I just wanted to close my eyes and like meditate and just like internalize it. And so I was like, I just need to get away from these people. So I go outside and sit on my own, and they're like, they know I'm fine now, so they leave me be. And as soon as I get outside and I'm like calm and I'm like out there, the visuals just like overtake my vision. Like the shapes just like fully overtake my vision, and it just slowly like blends. It's as if it just like the opaque just it goes from 50 to just like 100%, fully overtakes, and I just am seeing these crazy spirals and just like deep tunnels that I'm going down, like crazy stuff. And as soon as it wears off, there's this light, and it's like across the farm. My friend lives on a farm, and it's like this big field, and there's this white LED light, like a square light, and I'm looking at it, and the light starts to grow and grow, and then it turns into like this golden aura, like the most like kind of like golden aura, and then it sprouts arms and like legs and it turns into
This is the
like,
most Doctor Strange
I'm
shit
dead
I've
ass.
ever heard.
I wish that I was lying to you, but I
believe you.
I dead ass saw this. Whether it was, I know it's created by your brain, but like it felt like a godlike entity. Like this thing felt powerful, and it was like
Man saw Jesus.
it was presenting,
see
but it was
Jesus.
presenting pure love. Like it was made of light and like energy, and I could feel that. And it didn't like speak to me, but like almost telepathically, it was like it was just saying like, "Hey, you're safe. Like we exist." Because I'd heard of psychedelic entities, and I was questioning if they were real in my mind because.
And this one's like, oh yeah, you think?
And literally the day of, like before I went to that party, I watched a video on like psychedelic entities, and I was just like curious about them, and I was researching them and like looking at different ones, and like all of a sudden I fucking go there. I took 2 grams. Normally you'd need like 3 to 5 grams or a lot of weed to get like a trip that strong. But I took like 2 grams. But I think it was the alcohol with the weed was not the right idea to do. Don't mix with your psychedelics, kids. It's not very smart.
Yeah, kids, don't
try this at home. Try this at your friend's
drinking
house.
and more drugs on psychedelics. Do psychedelics though, kids.
Just the psychedelics on their own. They're much better that way. Well, weed is the only one I could say mix as well, but be careful and start with a little bit and only smoke joints. Or like you can do bong chops, but like stay to flower, not concentrates. It's like hard alcohol versus beer. You don't need to take shots when you're mixing, you know? Oh, my bad. Thank you.
She was about to say something, and I'm like, oh no. I saw her just reading everything. I was like, oh
You're
god.
like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
She's about to start spitting.
Yeah. I was like, nah, I got you.
But yeah, I
That's
saw
crazy,
that like
man. Wow.
entity. And then after that, I was still tripping, but I was like, I felt a lot better. And it was just, it's like you actually can get like pleasureful feelings out of your entire body just by like from certain psychedelics. Like it's weird. Like it's just like, it felt like
Your
just
hand
my whole,
came.
Not, well, no. Where did that come from?
Having this arm spasm. Oh my god.
You know what? I have heard, actually, I watched it. Like, you ever heard of Tales from the Trip?
No.
There's this YouTube channel called Tales from the Trip, and it's about a bunch of different like celebrities will go on and they'll tell a story about when they took a psychedelic and their craziest trip. And there was one guy that said that he like all of his fingers came at one time. He said it felt like he was just shooting like plasma. I was like, damn, that's a wild
some of
ass
this
trip.
bitch?
That's off some like salvia, like that kind of psychedelics. Though that shit's
salvia
crazy.
is crazy.
Salvia is wild. Like I don't mess with that kind of shit. I like the natural stuff. It's much safer, but like
So
you can have some interesting experiences with the other stuff too.
You've done DMT, you've done mushrooms. Would you ever do ayahuasca?
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, is it ashwagandha or ayahuasca? It's ayahuasca.
Ashwagandha
is
is
that like
is the
growing pill or something?
Yeah.
no. Ashwagandha is a psychedelic.
No, it's not.
Isn't
Yes, it is.
I'm pretty
Ayahuasca
sure.
is a
No,
psychedelic.
ayahuasca is, but ashwagandha is
like a
as well.
Is it? What?
Yeah.
Isn't
I'm almost
ashwagandha
positive.
those like pills that TikTok kept advertising?
What? No, I hope
Bro,
not.
Look it
No.
up. I swear I just saw like
Yeah,
a fucking
it's-
what's that fucking vitamin brand with the green label? Oh shit.
But would you ever do ayahuasca? That's the one I was trying to think of that I couldn't.
So I don't know. I feel like later in life.
You can't tell me you fucking saw Jesus and wouldn't do ayahuasca.
The thing is, DMT when
This
I
guy's
tried
fake.
it is like a 15-minute experience, and I didn't have a full-on like breakthrough trip with DMT. I didn't take enough of it to where I was sent out of my body and had an ego death like I did with the mushrooms. I didn't expect to have the mushrooms do that to me.
Mhm.
I wasn't planning for that. When I tried DMT, I was like, I'll try it, but I'm not trying to like. I wasn't necessarily like sure if I wanted to go like balls to the wall and just take like 3 fat rips of it and get sent out of my body like that because it can be quite intense.
Ashwagandha contains flavonoids such as, give me a second with this one, withanolide A and withaferin A, which are believed to be responsible for ashwagandha's psychoactive properties.
It is a psychedelic.
Psychedelic.
Ashwagandha? What the hell is that fucking vitamin I'm thinking of then?
I have no clue.
Viagra?
Now I sound real weird, huh? I will.
This guy's like, you got any of those dick pills, boy?
Bro, I could have swore. Anyways, yeah, I think I would, but the difference is like the DMT I tried, there's like stuff in your body that naturally, like in your liver, that can break down DMT so that you don't have these crazy trips. Because there's honestly a lot of plants that have like trace amounts of DMT in them that if you had an inhibitor that you took could get you high as fuck just from eating some grass outside.
So you,
Like-
after you blacked out and woke up, you just went outside? Like,
I just went and sat on the patio. This was with mushrooms though, not DMT.
okay, yeah, sorry. So, but like after you like fell, boom, you wake up and you're like, I'm good. I'm going to go outside.
I wake up and
yeah.
I sat on the floor and meditated for like a couple minutes because I was just trying to like deal with the high.
Yeah.
Everyone was talking to me and I was like, I'm good. I promise. They're like,
Yeah.
Max, come sit on the couch. And I was like, I promise, guys, I'm okay. I just need to be on my own for a bit.
And then you went
you
and
guys
sat
not having
outside?
fun was stressing me out. Because honestly, like I'm a people's person. I like to try and like please others. And if people aren't having fun at a party, I want to try and like include them or like make sure everyone's having a good time. And so me passing out and the whole party stopping and like everyone being like, "Are you okay?" As soon as I felt fine, I was like, "Yo, I just want y'all to go have fun." Like that's what's making it stressful for me. I was like, "If you're having fun, I'm chilling."
Yeah.
And so then I went up and I went outside, and then everyone continued to party, and I was chilling.
I
They
can
knew-
just- I
as
can
soon as
just,
I
like-
got up, they knew I was fine. They were like, "Oh, okay." They looked at me. They're like, "He's chilling." They're
I
like,
can just see it now
"He's
that like you're on like the patio and like someone's like looking at you outside from inside and they're like, fuck's he doing? And someone's like, is he okay? And they're like, I don't know, man. Like, what's... Hey, Mike, you good?
Hey, Mike, you good?
That's what
Dude, I just imagine the light he was seeing. Like he saw this square light and he saw arms. It was just some dude outside flashing a flashlight. Like the fuck is this dude doing? Is he good? And then he comes out and he like starts waving his hand at him. Like, are you good?
Yeah.
And he's just sitting there like,
it's just a cop. Like,
Yeah.
hey, you good? He's just like, what is that?
whoa,
So the cop's like, yo, you
Jesus.
good? You good?
Jesus.
That's so when you came to, did anyone say like how long you were like out for?
It was like 10 seconds apparently.
That's
it definitely
nuts.
felt like at least like 10 to 20 minutes, like minimum. Like it felt like there was at least that much time, but it could have been like hours. I don't really know. Like because there's no sense of time. You don't
No,
understand,
time was
just
a
gone.
concept
Yeah,
of
right.
anything. And so you
That's
can't really
wild that
tell.
like they said it was 10 seconds, but you felt it was like your whole life just ended.
Yeah, like I just remembered all of a sudden like opening my eyes kind of and being like, I think I know these people. And then I was like, how do I know these people? And then I was like, right, these are my friends. And I was like, I'm at a party. And I was like, oh, and I took mushrooms. And I was like, that would make sense why this is happening. Oh, okay, I'm
This
chilling.
man
And
connects the
as soon as
whole
I
piece
woke
and he's
up,
like,
I was
oh!
like, no! Like, I got up and I literally felt
He fucking
so good.
Sherlock Holmes his own fucking drug dose.
He's like, mushrooms.
I did it.
Bro,
did it.
But literally, I felt so good once I woke
He's
up.
like, got
And
it.
then my buddy strapped me into he got a brand new PC, like full nice high definition monitor, like these big headset, and he put me into Hogwarts Legacy. I don't know if you guys know much about Hogwarts Legacy.
We had a whole podcast about it.
Oh, okay. So I went into the starting scene of this right after I saw that godlike being. And I'm assuming it's the same start for everything where like the dragon eats it, they go into like a port key or whatever, and like a bunch of you just get teleported like 6 or 7 times.
I haven't played it personally.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
He's
I'm
like,
not.
fuck.
I'm not. If I do play it, I'm not a big Harry Potter
We did a
fan
whole
personally.
podcast on it, so I assume that
Sheldon is.
Sheldon.
Me and Sheldon are big Harry Potter fans. He's played the game.
okay.
I haven't yet. But he told us about how like in the beginning, like someone gets eaten by a dragon and shit.
Yeah, like a whole carriage gets munched,
Yeah.
and you like go through a port key, and I'm like, so I'm tripping, and then all of a sudden I'm so zoned into this screen that it's like nothing else exists. It feels like my whole vision is like taken up by this screen, and I'm just in Hogwarts. All of a sudden I'm on one of these mine carts going upside down.
This guy
spinning in
thinks he's fucking
circles,
Harry
like,
Potter.
All of a sudden there's
He's
a
like, I'm out of Kadabra at the
they
screen.
start talking to me. There's like a little gremlin on top of the desk, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, it was so trippy. And then I played like 2 hours straight of chess, and I saw every pattern. I was so zoned in. I've never played.
Man
that good of
became the chess piece. He's like,
literally, it was amazing.
wait,
It was-
chess in Harry Potter?
No, just
Or
chess.
just normal- okay,
Like,
just
me and
normal
my buddy
chess.
just played a couple games of chess. There was these 2 girls that weren't like having that much fun. They weren't socializing very much, and I was feeling guilty because even though it wasn't my party, but I was just like, these poor people are just sitting off to the side, like they don't look like they're having fun. We should like entertain them, make sure they're having fun. And so I was like, I'm gonna play chess, like in the area they're in. And then they of course were just like, oh wow, something to watch, and they just started watching us play chess. And then they had entertainment.
And you're like, if I win, you take your shirt off.
Hey yo.
If he wins, you take your shirt off. Everyone wins here.
And if I lose, I'm taking all my clothes off.
Yeah.
If I win, I'm taking all my clothes off. Fucking, I'm taking them off now.
I gotta come to your guys' parties. They sound way different than my parties.
Oh, our parties are crazy, my dude. It's just the three of us, though.
Quite interesting.
I had one party, and this is a huge side tangent. I had one party where a long time ago, it was me, my buddy, and a drunk Asian dude.
I'm curious where this is gonna go.
Huh?
I'm really curious.
It's me, my buddy, and a drunk Asian dude.
And we're just talking about these crazy sexual parties.
Hold up. Me, my friend, versus a drunk Asian dude and his girlfriend.
Versus.
Yeah. And his drunk Asian dude and girlfriend. And I'm about to throw the ping pong ball. And from across the table, this dude yells, "Throw it, you N-word, throw it." Just, yeets the word. He yelled this word at me. And I didn't hear it because I was so focused, but my homeboy did. And he walked around and he was like, "Yo, what the fuck did you just say?" And it was a bit of a scuffle and all that jazz. And after the whole thing,
and then you, Steph Curry, 3'd it.
and I was like, "Yo, what's up?" No. And then so then his girlfriend came over and she was like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." And I was like, "Look, I personally didn't hear it, so I can't say anything. But the 3 black dudes who are drug dealers behind me, they might care. So watch your boy." Yeah. But yeah, sorry, just mentioning parties. That's like my wildest experience at a party.
That is insane.
Yeah, he's like, "Throw it, you N-word, throw it." And I was like, okay, I'm sorry.
Was it heated up until that moment at all?
Dude, it was calm as
It was a regular just pong game.
It was a regular pong game. Everyone's like, oh. And I'm like, Steph Curry. And he's like, "Throw it, N-word." And everyone's like,
winning?
"What the fuck do you mean?"
What were you winning though? Was it like?
Yeah, of course I was winning. I'm black. Of course I was winning.
I'm an N-word.
He's like, "You think I don't want to play drinking games? Come on, man."
Of course I won. I'm an N-word.
He had every right to say it, but not actually.
Yeah. My goodness.
It was the fact that he just yelled it. I was like, all right, dude, relax a little bit. Holy cow.
Okay, so back to your story. You're playing chess.
Oh yeah, I was playing some chess. Honestly,
Who
the
won?
chess I beat my buddy one time, and then he played the girls that were watching after.
Oh, here we go.
Because I didn't feel like playing any more chess. My brain was going. And honestly, they said they didn't play much chess, but they were med students. Okay, she was gonna be a doctor, and so I was like, you know, if you're smart enough to be a doctor, I feel like you can figure out patterns of like a basic strategy game. And honestly, I'd never seen my buddy Lucas. He's pretty damn good at chess.
Mm-hmm.
Like out of all the people that I play with, like he doesn't study chess or he's not like a chess club, but he's just like really likes to play and he just plays a lot.
Yeah.
And I'd never seen this man struggle so hard as this chick that was in med school is just
whooped him.
She didn't play chess, but she was smart. Like he won in the end. She made like a couple blunders at the end that he pointed out to me as she was making it, and I was like, oh, I see how that.
Was he?
He's like, this
blonde?
one move. He's like 20 moves later. Nah, done. Like, no, he's not that good.
Was she blonde?
I don't think so.
No. I was gonna say that explains everything. That explains everything.
No, they were pretty smart girls, but yeah, that was pretty much the end of it. Honestly, like after that, it was a pretty chill night. I just went to bed. My buddy has this those racing dogs with the really long snouts.
Yes.
So they have marble eyes that are come half out of their head. And on mushrooms, when I'm sitting on the floor and all of a sudden this thing rounds the corner and comes at me, and I swear to God, its snout just extended 4 feet long as it came towards me. This thing looked so long, and its beady eyes were just looking at me, and I was I freaked out. And then it was just oh, this dog's just.
And here comes someone rounding the corner.
Literally, he heard me come in the door, fucking around the outside.
Was it an actual dog?
Yeah, no, it was. He had 2 dogs. Yeah.
Okay, I thought you were high seeing a dog.
No, it was an actual dog. It's just the dog looked really long. But that was pretty much the end of the trip. But that was a more extreme trip. Most of the trips that I have, I go out to some like Redwood Park is a very nice park. You have some nature. It's a lot more. It's just a lot more peaceful if you're not at a party. I wouldn't suggest doing those psychedelics at parties.
I say we get you to do some psychedelics at a party and experience what Max did.
Yeah. Or just take 5 grams and sit in a pitch black room for 8 hours.
Holy shit. That wouldn't be fun.
You'll see some shit for sure.
I'll do. Oh, I got it. Lock me in the bathroom with Broly and I'll do shrooms. That'll be experience.
Yo, you should let the cat.
One of you isn't coming out.
I'll wear some of these night vision goggles from Call of Duty and then I'll do shrooms.
Yo, you should have a segment where like who can last the longest in the closet with the cat. Like,
No.
put a GoPro with like night vision in the closet.
No. All I hear is and just,
he'll attack all of us. Jeez.
That cat is wild.
I'll fight him. Fuck it.
He's a wild cat.
He seems chill though. Like honestly, if you get to know him, I'm sure he's great.
Yeah, I've gotten.
Is he
know.
like that to Sheldon too?
Yep.
Yep. He's
I'm telling you, his brother is completely different.
Yeah, Tanjiro.
I don't understand why.
Tanjiro is.
Dude,
I
don't
want
name drop my cat.
Shut up.
Bro, that's a pretty sick name for a cat though.
You actually you name dropped it on the pod.
Yeah, you already did.
Shut up.
Yeah, eat my ass.
I have two. I have a big fat chunky one who's orange and his name's Goku because he's orange.
Amazing.
And then I was gonna name Tanjiro actually Vegeta, so I could have Goku and Vegeta. But my daughter was like, "Can we name him Tanjiro?" Because she's a big Demon Slayer fan. So I was like, "That is fair."
A fake fan.
Yeah, you got it.
She's a fake fan. I'm calling her out right now. She's a fake fan.
She's not up to date.
Well, no, I put on Demon Slayer one time at home and she watched the first episode and then the second one she's like, "I'm bored, I'm going upstairs," and I was like, fake fan, I exposed you.
Yeah. She only likes it because of TikTok.
And she only likes it because of Nezuko.
Yeah.
Nezuko.
Yep, she's a popular character. You know, everyone wants to be Nezuko. At least now that anime is not like
everyone wants to be ball gagged.
Everyone either wants to be her or be in her. You gotta pick one. What? At least Zenitsu does.
I think she's like 14. But whatever you want, my G.
Even
whatever
better.
you're good with.
Even better.
I mean, to be fair, the show actually correlates to children doing dirty, nasty things. So, you know, it's all good.
She grows to an adult demon in season 2. She's hot then.
She just transforms herself to look like an adult.
I was gonna say, doesn't she just grow bigger? I don't know if she ages in that moment.
Someone change the subject because I can get way worse.
So bubbly, what's your favorite
Orange.
Bubbly? Oh, really?
Yeah, it has like a hint of like orange crush. Nezuko was hot though.
Oh man.
So the party ends, you pass out. The next day, did you have any like lingering kind of effects, or was it just like
that's what I love about psychedelics is like besides the
just
fact
answer
that,
the
like,
question? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's what I love is like there's not really like you don't get a hangover from psychedelics.
No, well,
you might feel tired, like you might be physically exhausted if you didn't get enough sleep. But like, because it is it's like a mental workout.
No, of
like,
course. You're probably just mentally drained the entire day.
You're so tired the next day because your brain's just been thinking so hard. But like, it's
one thing with
so chill though.
I will say about MDMA, the only side effect that I had was I was told that like since it uses all of like your happy endorphins, when you do it, you're like crazy happy in the moment, and then after it's done, you're not really depressed, but like nothing really makes you happy or excites you. And I actually had that where like a couple days after the music festival, I was at the gym and like I got there and I had like Pre in me and I did like one set of
Who's Pre?
Bench. Huh? What? I don't want to talk about him. We broke up. It's fine. I had Pre all on my face and everything. And I did one set of bench and I got.
When you say Pre, you mean cum, right? Pre-cum.
Let it cook. I did one set of bench and I got up and I was like, I don't feel like doing anything. And for like the next couple of days, I was just like nothing like really excited me. And I was like, great. You know, Pre's gonna leave me and everything. And like it sucked and all that jazz. And I sucked him off.
It's
what?
Wait.
Don't leave me. Come back.
Yeah, it's the same. It's the same. Like you ever heard of dopamine detoxes? Like I've heard like a lot of people now, especially with like social media and like TikTok, especially like your brain is so stimulated because you're constantly.
Oh my for
24/7, and like you don't even want to be half the time, but you can't help it. Like I'll be like, I don't even want to be watching videos anymore. But I'm like, I could go to bed. Or, like,
I think my biggest problem is like I actually don't necessarily go on my phone unless
to watch porn using computer, smart boy.
VR goggles. Okay,
yeah, hold up.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, Cooper got the full on like haptic suit.
The full on haptic suit. I wish.
That he just puts on his dick.
But I don't really use my phone all that often. Only because I think like, I don't really have much on my phone other than like Reddit can be a doom for me, and Instagram.
I hate Reddit now.
But I find myself going on my phone more often now because I'm in school, because there'll be times where like when we have our breaks, it's like, what else do I do for half an hour? It's like now I have like, okay, I eat
you could
my
read
food.
a book.
You could
I
just
could read a book, except I've been reading a book the entire morning and
that's true.
afternoon. You know, I'm kind of tired of reading
Go
books
touch
by
some
that.
grass.
Yeah, basically. But yeah, I find myself scrolling through Instagram a lot more in the last couple weeks, and I almost want to like delete Instagram, but I'm like, it's
The worst part, you'll delete it. Like now I'm on YouTube Shorts. I deleted TikTok. I deleted Instagram.
yeah.
YouTube Shorts is where I'm
YouTube
at now. I'm gonna delete that
Shorts.
soon. I'll probably be on fucking Facebook soon. Like, I don't even have Facebook. I'm gonna go back to Facebook. I'm gonna digress. I'm gonna go back. Like,
See, what I find helps a lot is I will leave my phone upstairs and wear my Apple Watch, and that way I don't have the urge to fucking sit there. And if someone texts me, I just be like, oh, you know, Cooper text me, I'll be right back. Go reply, or even just on the watch. But like, say if I go upstairs, phone call, but put the phone back down, then just go back downstairs. And I find having the watch really helps me like detach from my phone.
what I was saying about the dopamine detox thing though is like the reason people like they'll get away from like no social media, no like alcohol or no weed, no indulgences, like things that stimulate your brain, because then you'll be really like you won't be tired regular conversations because your brain will be stimulated more often.
Oh shoot! I think it may have. We were lost in our psychedelic talk.
But
it wasn't paused all the time. It was playing for sure.
It was playing for a while.
Yeah.
But how long was it? It was like an hour long.
Well, that's fair. Fuck
how long into the pod are we? It was an hour long video. I think.
$1.20.
$1.20.
Maybe 20 minutes. It's been paused for. I think it was like an hour video, wasn't it?
Yeah, but we have a loop going on. We have a couple videos. Yeah, it's a playlist.
But did we hit them for the next cue?
Yeah, they're all in the playlist.
Okay,
so once you play one, it goes. So I don't know.
Dopamine detox is like the same thing as like the MDMA. Like it's just like people will stay away from that shit so that you feel better because it just like it drains you. It takes away your energy.
Of course.
Compared to like you take MDMA, it stimulates you so much. Like your phone could stimulate you, and then all of a sudden you're just drained. You need to like bring your levels back down to the same level so that you're leveled.
Yeah. Wow.
Bring your,
Thanks,
pal.
Okay, I got stopped so many times in my rant that I just lost where I was. All right.
I need that as a quote. You need to bring down your levels so that you can be leveled.
Quote by Mike.
Quote by Mike.
M-I-C, not M-I-K.
Yeah, M-I-C.
I'll sign everything with Mike from now on.
Yeah.
Just like Mike from the Ballsack podcast.
Mike from the Ballsack podcast. My goodness. So are you now informed more about the psychedelics?
I am, yeah. And like prior to this, I wasn't against them, but I mean, like, I am gonna do it with you guys. But like hearing about your experiences, like, it only sheds.
Yeah, I didn't really give the ones that.
I'm fucking talking. Do you mind, Mike? I will mute you. It's simple, all right?
Okay, my bad, boss.
Just kidding. But like, you really bring. Like, I don't understand how like some people can be like, oh my god, like mushrooms are terrible, but then they'll go get like hammered. It's like, do you not understand that like alcohol is way worse than like any psychedelic you can do done correctly though? Done correctly. Like I've always been told, if you do shrooms, do it with great people, do it in a great mindset, and do it in a good environment. Yeah. And like anyone that I've talked to has been like, do it at like a beach on like a hot day, and you'll have like the best time.
The sun is so nice.
Yeah, and like I'm currently
and water
going. Yeah, I've heard like when you're high, like touching water is like, oh god.
Yeah.
It's I don't know what I don't know.
I'm telling you, it's that surface tension of water.
That surface tension.
It circles back to the kayak.
As you slip through, bro. Oh, you're just like.
Have you run psychedelics on a kayak? Whoa.
Yeah, like last week I took like a gram of mushrooms and went for a kayak trip with my mom.
He's just like,
bro, it was like I was on a glass lake. Like the water was so still, and it felt like I was just gliding through this glass. Like as it rippled, there was like such perfect ripples. I don't know how else to explain it besides like everything was so HD. It was like I was in my own nature channel. I was like kayaking underneath these tree branches, and everything was
He's just like, wow.
I was the 4K camera that was taking the video. I was just seeing it like, whoa, this looks exactly. Like
He's just in his mind. He's vlogging everything through his eyes.
Literally, that's what it felt like. I was like, this is
no. He just has who's the dude who does the narration for that?
Oh
fuck! What's his name?
What's his name?
Not Morgan Freeman.
No,
I
not
want
Morgan Freeman. Jesus.
Freeman.
God,
David
it's gonna
Goggins
kill
or
me. No,
David
God,
Goggins, oh
David,
my God.
what the hell?
No, not David.
No,
Touch that grass, motherfucker! Stay hard.
He would be the greatest. He would be the greatest.
Woke up at 6 a.m. Touch some grass.
He would be the greatest psychedelic person to
Oh
go to.
my God.
Like, could you imagine? You take them. You're like, I don't know why. I just feel like I need to touch something. Touch the fucking grass.
He's like, you tripping, bitch.
You tripping, bitch? You take enough of these? Slam some more down your mouth. You haven't taken enough shrooms.
And it's true. He's like, stay hard. You're like, what's wrong with me? We love you, David Goggins. Don't hate us.
Oh, I love David Goggins. I actually watch it. Used to watch him a little bit before I would go to the gym.
Wait, is it David Attenborough? Is that the guy?
I think it's David Attenborough.
Oh my God, yeah, I think
That was close, not
I think
Goggins.
it might be. The other David.
The other
David.
David.
Yeah.
David Attenborough.
The white David.
The white
You need
David.
you need a Jamie Cooper. You need someone that can do all the Googling for you.
I know.
Podcast.
I know. I wish.
Jamie!
Jamie, get it.
Jamie.
I would
Get the
I
cat,
would do
bro.
it. I would do it, but I'm on the pod, so like I have
That's
to do
fair.
it while I'm here.
We need you to have a little separate desk with your own camera.
Yes, it was
and then
it
we
was
can have a
David
cut.
Attenborough who did a bunch of these.
Yeah, that guy's good. You go watch much of Our Planet on Netflix?
Yes,
Those things are amazing.
they're amazing. I
Like
love
the
them.
one with
I love them after you smoke weed. They're
Oh, yeah.
phenomenal.
Amazing.
You just sit there and you're like, oh my goodness,
Just the
everything's
most
beautiful.
scenic stuff. I got an OLED TV recently,
Ooh.
and like, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
Just like watching those nature videos on that TV is amazing. I got the backlit lighting, and I just turn all the other lights off so it like matches whatever's on the screen. And it's just like you feel like you're in the movie, you know?
Yep.
Especially after you smoke a little bit, you're entranced.
So you just turn off all the lights, have the backlight, and then watch like the nature
the
thing?
nature show, and then like if it's a green background, the
Yeah.
lights will turn green, and like it feels like you're in the movie. It's the best.
What
That's
a
why
fucking
I love.
loser.
That's why I love smoking. Hey, you know what?
No,
That was rude.
I'm sorry. That actually sounds like if you're high, it would be like
Very nice.
immersed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if you weren't high, maybe not. But it depends how active your imagination is.
I mean, like, see, that's my fear with doing shrooms is like I have a pretty active imagination and like I have ADD. So like, I feel like if I did do shrooms, it'd be like,
There's also the whole like separate side of like, there's like physical stuff that you
Yeah.
can see, and then there's like the whole mental side of like, I don't know if you meditate or you do anything like that.
I mean,
but like that
I
helps
have-
with that kind of
I've
stuff.
tried and I want to do it more. It's just, I think I just need to just consistently do it and just try and really tap into that.
Because once I've been getting into it a lot more recently. and
How do
it's
you
like,
do it?
I honestly, I don't have
Can you
set
show us?
meditation times.
No, I'm just kidding.
Just anytime. Literally right now, you could be meditating. You could meditate anytime just by like being in the moment is the main thing. Is you need to like focus on exactly like a sound. Like if you play some music and just sit there and just listen to the music and focus like very intently on every single lyric.
Do you do
and
like the whole
in
cliche
trance-
thing where you like sit down and cross your legs and all that jazz, or
You know, honestly, especially on mushroom and stuff, sometimes it feels right to do that. Like I do a lot of yoga, and a lot of the postures, like there's for certain reasons. Like I don't know if you believe in like chakras and like different shit like that, and like the energy of life and like shit like that in your body. But
You were telling me about this last weekend.
I'm getting into it a little more recently. Like I was always really like sketched out about it. Like I was like, I don't know, that kind of sounds fake. But like whether you believe in it or not, it's a lot of like the placebo effect kind of thing where like if you believe in something, your energy will like you'll manifest towards it a little bit, you know? Like if you think like if you sit down, the power of thought is like crazy powerful. If you're saying negative shit all the time, if you're like putting yourself down, you're going to feel negative. If you're like always pretending you're positive, eventually you're just going to feel happier. It really is like a choice at the end of the day of like what you want to do. Like your outlook on life or anything like that is completely a choice of like
so good?
yeah, chilling. Bet. Like that's what psychedelics and like especially like meditation have kind of like made me realize a bit more is like you feel like this is like life. Like I was like, this is just like my regular life. And like people say psychedelics make you look at the world differently. It's still the same world. You're just not so sure. Like, I don't know what's your thoughts or like your opinions on what life is or existence or like any of that kind of stuff. But psychedelics will make you question a lot of that. Like, especially like religion and like different things like that. Like, because like there's a very strong sense of like God and like a higher power if you do bigger doses of it. And so if you don't, I don't know if you're spiritual or religious or if you pray or like some people like are completely, like I was atheist and I believed after doing psychedelics that there is some kind of a God. I don't know.
That's crazy.
I don't know if it's like, I don't have a specific God that I believe in,
Yeah.
but I do believe in a higher power now after doing them for sure. Like it definitely had changed my perspective in that sense, which is like.
From this conversation, we've never met prior, correct?
No.
From this conversation, I would be comfortable and I would trust you if we were to do shrooms together.
Oh, I would totally love to take you through that. I'll be your shroom shaman if you would like, my friend.
Just because, like, from what you talked about, like, you are so versed in this whole thing that, like...
I've just been really interested in it recently.
Yeah, that, like, if we were to ever do them, and again, we've never met, I'd be, like, fucking taking through it.
Yeah, what do
That's
you do?
crazy.
And that's the best way to do it, too, is to have someone that is experienced, like a trip sitter that understands about the psychedelics.
Yeah.
Because then they can help you the most. Because, like, I've trip sit for a couple of my friends, and it's always a good time. Because even if you're not tripping, like, I believe a lot in energy, and, like, you can feel that kind of, like, energy and that, like, wavelength that, like, they're on when they're tripping, and you almost feel a little high on your own just being with them. Like, just the way they're talking and, like, sitting, like, if you sit in nature, and it's, like, you know when you're in nature...
I thought you were going to say sitting naked. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
This turns into him trying to get you to go out with him to sit naked in the forest.
Now take off
It's
your clothes.
necessary.
It's necessary. He goes, it's part of the process.
It's just necessary.
I was like, wait a minute, where did that come from?
All hippies like to get naked, don't they? Come on. Like,
Yeah.
That's just what hippies do.
Right?
They take
Scared them alone.
mushrooms and they get naked. Yeah. But yeah, no, I think you would definitely love them. Like it's definitely set and setting.
Oh yeah,
but,
no,
like,
for sure. And
you'll be able to deal with it well.
yeah, and like I know I want to, in a sense, unlock my brain and move a wall that I guess society has put about this whole stigma on psychedelics. And like currently I'm going through a bit of a mental thing. I won't get too into it, but after the pod I can talk a bit more. But like I'm on medication for it now, but I have wanted to try and get off of that and try and do shrooms or psychedelics and just really reset everything. And I feel like it would also help me with my creativity as well.
It helps so much with creativity because like what psilocybin does is like your brain has regular like habit forming pathways. Like that's why like once you do something a lot, it becomes a habit because there's like a certain like part of your brain that transmits information from here to here.
Yep.
And it takes the same path every time when you brush your teeth, say.
Yep.
And when you form a new habit by brushing your teeth differently or some other way, you you go a different way through your brain.
Yeah.
It's just slightly, but it's a new pathway. And what psilocybin does is it helps you create new pathways really easily. Like it helps you get that start.
Yeah.
But you also have to put in the work. If you just like, if you want to quit smoking cigarettes and you take some mushrooms, you start microdosing and you genuinely want to stop quitting cigarettes and you put your mind to quitting cigarettes and like you try your very best, it'll help you create those pathways and help you make them like solid pathways.
It kickstarts things.
Yeah, it kickstarts things. It puts you on the right path, but it doesn't do the work for you. It's not like a medication. Like I see a lot of like prescription medicines, they're like a Band-Aid. Like it's like, oh, you feel sad, let's numb that sadness.
That's a hot
and
take
then
for sure.
That's how it feels. Bro.
I think
it's
that's literally
what
what
I've
it is
seen.
though.
Like,
I'm not like saying like you're wrong. I'm just saying like
No, yeah.
I agree.
It is, especially in the society now. People like medication is like very common. Like most people take like a lot of adults take like 6-7 pills a day. Like in the morning with their breakfast, they just like pop in all these pills for heart, back, like everything.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Like I wish I could like help everybody since I've started with like spirituality and like psychedelics a little bit, but mainly the spirituality stuff. The meditation and just nature in general has been so good for my health, mentally and physically. Like when you take care of your mind, you take care of your body as well. It's like if you didn't take care of your car, it's going to break down eventually.
Of course.
You got to know how to take care of that car and how to drive that car. And if you don't even know how to like keep your emotions in check or how to like keep yourself like
Then who will
calm
at the end of the day, right?
Exactly. Like you have to learn to deal with that, or else like no one else is gonna want to do it for you.
No, of
and,
course.
Like if I want to go out there and like find, I don't know, someone to be with in the future, or just like a partner, you want to make yourself the best version of yourself, just in general, right? I want to make myself like calm, collected, ready to like deal with a problem if I need to. I don't want to have to freak out or like panic and do something wrong. You want to be able to like keep your life in control, but at the same time, the only way to stay in control is to relinquish control. Because if you,
I want that on a Forever 21 t-shirt. Easily by Mike.
Bro, I'll give you guys all these
By
different
Mike.
quotes. You know,
Signed
We-
by-
we
get some
by
merch
Mike.
going, bro.
We're gonna
The
have
only way
merch
to-
by Mike.
Yeah, how to go again? The only way to have control is to
only way to-
relinquish control.
Yeah.
That's my new fucking Twitter status right there. Easily.
But that's one thing I always had a hard time with though. Like I always have needed control of everything, and I'm just kind of learning that like you don't really have control of a lot of shit, and you have to like. There's always like you have to like give it up to a higher power. They say is the easiest way, because like there's some things you just can't change. Like say like you have a test score, like you did the test, it's finished.
Yeah.
There's literally
Jesus
nothing
take
you
the
can
wheel,
do.
right?
Yeah, you just have to give it up,
Yeah.
and it's so much more peaceful.
I struggle with that, especially as a father. Like, say, for example, if I clean the house and the kids come home and they fucking tear it apart, I'm trying to be like, in the sense of,
Not curb stomp them.
not throw them against the wall and crucify them and be like, I just clean the house. Like, I'm trying to be like, it is what it is.
Yeah, you have
Type
to
thing.
be understanding. You know, it's like they didn't mean to do
No,
it in that
right,
sense.
but
They're
I'm-
not like
I'm
they
someone
don't
who's
understand.
of course. I'm someone who's wired into a routine
Mhm.
where, like, if it isn't, then my life is in shambles type thing. And having a 3-year-old and a 7-year-old, I have to, especially understand with my 3-year-old, if he draws on the wall, I can't be like, well, pack your shit, you're gone, right? I
Yeah,
can't,
you have to. Yeah,
I can't do that.
Move out.
because
Yeah.
that's what
Get
I
to
always think.
stepping.
Like where I am, like pretty much, if I want to, like if I don't like you or I'm not like vibing with your energy or like
Mhm.
how you are, like you don't have to stay with that person. Like if I'm hanging out with someone and it's like I'm not feeling this, like I just don't want to be around you. You can go, but like if your kid's making you feel that way, you just got to be like, shit, man, what do I do now?
This
Like,
is
I
it.
gotta, yeah, and that's
Yeah.
one thing you got to
Grab the magic eraser, or you know what?
I'm-
Draw with him. Fuck it.
You know, yeah, you know,
Draw with
have
them.
fun with it. That's
Yeah.
one thing. If you can have fun with everything you do, like you laugh about everything, it makes things so much better. I try and like take a positive outlook on everything if I can.
Mhm.
It's hard. It's real hard.
I
But,
want
like-
that on a t-shirt too. It's hard. It's real hard. Bye, Mike.
We have a whole merch lineup coming out
Bro,
now. We're gonna have like
honestly, let's get a
a 26
collection.
different merch lineup coming out
Yeah.
by Mike.
Balls. The ball sack merch drop. First one, just called by Mike.
By Mike.
Yeah.
Ball sacks by Mike.
People are probably so confused because we introduced him
Or
in the
just call
beginning.
it, Mike's ball sack.
We introduced him in the beginning as Max because that's his actual
Yeah.
name. And then ever since you were like, I thought his name was Mike. His name's been Mike
Hey,
the
you know,
whole time.
That's how the best nicknames happen. You know, you just gotta. It just comes up like
From now
that, you
on,
know?
he's Mike the Shaman.
Mike the Shaman.
Mike the
Mike,
Shaman. I
the
would be the shaman.
psychedelic guru.
Yeah, if you'd like to hire me, guys, you can find me as MikeTheShaman.com.
Mike the
I'm gonna make a
weekend
whole
retreats
I'm gonna-
in my basement.
I'm gonna make a whole website for this dude. Just get ready.
That'd be a
This is
chill
great.
job, actually. If I could do that, like imagine like you just trip sit people for a living. That would be chill as fuck. I would actually fuck with that.
I
If
think-
y'all, if y'all
I think
watching this want that,
if
message.
anyone was gonna do it, and I wholeheartedly believe this from every single person I've met thousands of people who have done, not everybody's done psychedelics, but you would be the perfect person for
I
that
appreciate
job.
that.
That's why I said, like, I've never met him prior, and I would do shrooms with him.
Yeah, like
Right?
he's
I
the
appreciate
perfect
that.
because I think the experience and the knowledge that you come with, and like the chill vibe that you come with is something that
the knowledge I put out earlier, because I was a little fried at the beginning of this podcast, and there was definitely a good portion where I was talking and my conversations were trailing, and I was like,
No,
"Max,
you did
can
you
pull
did
it
fine,
together."
man.
So
You
if some
you
of the
killed
information isn't good, I'm sorry, guys, but like,
No,
I
you
did
killed
my
it.
best.
You killed it. You killed it. I think, like, especially when it comes to relaying that information in a way that sounds like not not extreme. Like obviously
It is
when you're
quite
going
difficult.
over your
Some of the
extreme
you
stuff,
listen to, yeah.
yes, it felt like, yeah, that can be crazy, but you always came back to the point where you're like, I just needed to sit down, meditate, and I felt good. And I went out and I saw things and it was great. And, you know, you always have this point where you come back to yourself. And I think that that's important for people who want to do psychedelics. Is the scary part is not coming back.
No,
I think that's the scariest part about it.
It is scary,
And
because you're always afraid. You don't know like how long.
It's the
you're
fear of
gonna
the
come back.
unknown that I
Some
think
people-
hides
yeah.
people from doing this.
Mhm.
And that's what I've realized as well, is like the more research I've done, there's people out there like psychonauts that take like every type of psychedelic under the sun. They've demolished their ego to the point of complete non-existence. They've like had so many ego deaths, and like those crazy experiences to them aren't scary anymore.
No,
They're
they
tripping
almost
balls.
welcome.
They're in the middle of hell, like seeing like all these flames and shit. They're like, I've been here before. This is fine.
Like I say,
And then they come back and they're like, yo, boys, I went to hell again. Like, that was sick. Because it's not unknown to them now. They've experienced that scary thing, and they've mentally, they know that it's going to be fine. Like, obviously, like, that's a bad example. No one wants to experience hell on psychedelics. I'm not saying that's what you should do, but it's like, everything is the fear of the unknown. Like, when I first started taking mushrooms, I was so terrified to the point of like the first time, like, I didn't know what was going to happen. I was really excited, and I was like hyped up, and I took a small dose to be sure. But like, I was so nervous.
Let's get.
I know I was hyped as hell because I heard so many amazing things. And like, honestly, the first time I took them, I went outside and it was like the start of summer. My mom had planted a garden, and it was like a really hot day. The whole garden was like dry, and she told me to water the garden, and I was like this before she left. And so that was part of my chores for the day, to like water the garden while they were away. And so I go out to the garden and I start watering it. And as the water hits all the leaves, they start to unravel and grow bigger. And I watch these plants literally like sprout. Almost.
And they're like, "Hi,
And
Max!"
they're like, and like their leaves get big, and their colors just come back to them. It was literally like I went to this desert land and just watered it, and all of a sudden it blossomed in this beautiful like thing. A rainbow formed over the water. I was spraying over the garden. It was like
This man's the Messiah.
beautiful
all of a
scenic,
sudden.
like it was beautiful. And that was off like literally like a gram, like just a tiny bit.
That's
of mushrooms.
wild to think.
But that wasn't even like visuals. Like I wasn't seeing anything moving. Like I wasn't like, a lot of mushroom visuals are like breathing. Like as you breathe, stuff will move with your breath.
Whoa.
Which is like, everyone thinks that it's like the ground is breathing, but it's like it actually is linked to like your breath a lot of the time. If you take really deep breaths, like if I'm on mushrooms and I want to trip, and if I'm having a conversation with you, I won't be seeing a lot of stuff. But if I stop and I stare at something on the wall and just take really deep breaths in and out, you'll start to like get the visuals more stronger.
I'll say, to back that point up, Sheldon, when we were on that trip, he was saying that the grass that he was wanting to touch was breathing.
I think
that was another point about the trip, was the fact that it was breathing, and he didn't want the stuff that was trapped because he felt like it was alive, right? Like he knew that there was a life there, right? So
some energy in there.
Exactly. So he wanted to touch the life that was free.
He didn't want no trapped life.
Yeah, he didn't want
He
no
wanted that
trapped
free
life.
life.
Exactly.
He's got the trenches now. Yeah.
Well, I don't want to cut this short, but we're at $1:42. Should we call it there?
I think we've gotten a lot done. Yeah, I think
this was
has been
great.
good.
Honestly, thank you.
Thank you guys for having me. It was
no,
fun.
this was
Never done
super
nothing like this
informative.
before,
We got a clothing line coming. It was super awesome to meet you, to hear all your stories. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed to just hear you geeking out about it.
it's just,
I would love to, like, as we were saying, I would love to like get high with you sometime.
Oh, we'll
and
for
just
sure do
like,
that.
yeah, for sure.
we'll
And just,
hang
and
again.
just like all four of us.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I
I
think
didn't know about Sheldon for a second. I'm like, there's four of us, right?
yeah. But once Sheldon's back from his medical leave,
Yeah.
we will. I genuinely think that he would. You and Sheldon would get along very well.
Yeah, like
You
I
guys
would
would get
love for
along.
you when we all go, and my first time for you to be there.
Oh, I'm so down.
Yeah,
I'd
I would
to
love
do
that.
Yeah.
I'd love
Yeah,
that for
Should do
sure.
it on the podcast.
Sheldon wants to do something on the podcast. So
Sheldon's idea a couple
Although,
weeks ago
that would be so anxiety.
was to get absolutely obliterated and baked, and then just have a podcast. And I told him that would be the worst idea ever, because we'd all just be sitting here staring at each other, going like, "Yeah."
It'd just be.
Yeah, my conversation skills at the beginning
Yeah.
were a lot worse than now when I was higher.
Yeah,
It's a lot
like-
harder to have conversation when you're pretty high.
Yeah,
Like, it's
exactly.
Yeah.
And on mushrooms, I would be so stressed out about saying something bad and knowing it was getting posted online. I guess I know you can edit anything out, but there'd be so many edits from the mushroom podcast because you'd be like
yell
so
the N-word.
anxious.
Just
He's the Asian guy.
Yeah, just yells the N-word. Looks at me.
It's like, wait, is this live?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's a pod.
That's a pod. The title
And-
is Mike the Shaman.
Mike the Shaman.
That's it. That's it.
Mike
if that
the
isn't the
Shaman.
pod, if that is the title, I'm pissed.
But as normal, hit the like, hit the subscribe. If you're on Spotify, share it to a friend, all that kind of good stuff.
Share it to someone that might be afraid of psychedelics and just be like, hey, like if you. Right?
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, don't send a hate comment to Mike. Send it to us. About our ignorance about psychedelics. But we want your hate comments. Please send them.
Call me the N-word.
Yes, we love hate comments.
Please.
Get that, the Asian dude, whoever you are,
Yeah.
come into the comments.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank y'all. We'll see you next
you, Mike.
week.
Thank you,
Thank
guys
you,
for
Mike.
having me. It was amazing.
You
It was.
guys have a wonderful week. And Mike, you have a wonderful week as
You
well.
as well, lads.
Bye.